Colin.
And I'm John.
Very nearly went into that in association with Leeds Spirits there.
I remember them.
Just about did. Old habits dying hard and all the rest of it.
Still good friends. It wasn't an acrimonious split.
Absolutely, yeah. We would have
we-
no
I don't know.
problem.
I've not heard from him for ages.
Well, apart from that,
Our journey came to an end.
aye. But one journey that didn't come to an end, obviously because we're only like partway through the season, was Hibs' journey into the season. 3 points on the road up at Pittodrie the day, a good win over Aberdeen, and it's one of these ones where you watch the game and you think, I can't if Aberdeen are shite or if we're just playing really well, and I think I want to give Hibs the credit for it. John, we'll go through all the talking points in a wee bit, but just to get kind of general overview of your thoughts on the game.
Aye. Tactical masterclass for David Gray. Team were excellent. And I think I'd love to have a look at David Gray's record because we'd suggested in our preview and predictions that we would get a win up there. And I think one of the points I'd made was that David Gray's got a really good record compared to however many managers we've had for a number of years now. Like Pittodrie is no longer, even though he said it in his post-match interview, Pittodrie no longer feels like a hard place to go. So no, pretty chuffed with today's result.
Good. Chris Black on YouTube said, Hibs away, aha. And Daniel Barlaser, when you get so much time, it's a joy to watch. Barlaser was terrific today. I reckon he's probably Hibs man of the match for today. I think with a couple of candidates, but I think Barlaser stood out.
Did he get it got on TV apparently?
Did he?
Premier Sports, I was told, yeah.
Oh, good. Well worth it. Colin, David Gray stuck with the same team. It was almost exactly the same as the one that we predicted. I put Chaiwo in instead of Barlaser.
Same as you predicted. Aye. Me and John were right, obviously.
Because
it was
Professor Fitbody's protege.
It was completely clickbait to be back in Chaiwo ahead of Barlaser. But yeah, no, it was seemed to work. I've not seen the game. Like I'll say up front, like I've just caught Sports Scene. That's why I was a minute or two late, and that's all I've seen. But you boys have obviously seen it, so I'll just be having to ask probing questions.
Now, Colin, just before anybody quit, like sometimes somebody will hear that and they'll go, "Oh, these cunts weren't even at the game." Right, that's not the case. What were you were at a Hibs game today?
I was.
You were then, like, I would say probably Uber fan territory.
Junior duties, aye.
Aye, when you're dismissing the first team and going to like down the levels to watch Hibs, that's like proper hardcore. So you witnessed a Hibs win today?
I did 6-5 last minute winner for the Hibs development team, women's team. So should add the women's because that'll get some folks back up as well. So yeah, no, it was the 6-5 win out at Cairn, which is in Airdrie.
Right. It's always a sad day when you have to go to Airdrie, but at least you came back with a win.
It's a sad place, like especially when it's raining. Like
I think the train that goes through Livy towards Glasgow Queen Street maybe stops there. That's the only reason Airdrie. I know some of these. It definitely like Airdrie, Calder Crooks. I think Gartcairn's on that line, but that's a bit train spotting and not the film.
I'm sure some of your listeners are train spotters, right? If you just want to message in, we'll ignore that
as well. If anybody gets the train routes.
But it was.
It was what I mean? No, like sometimes you only get to hear these places because of like it's like Slumdog Millionaire, like some sort of like forgotten fact because of where you've been or what you've done.
Not seen that film, but
neither of us.
Anyway, what was disappointing for me, right? So I got through there and I remembered I had my mother-in-law's Sky Go on my phone, so I logged in and watched the Hearts game, or the second half, the end of the first half, the second half, which was disappointing. And then I thought, right, I'll stick I've not got Premier Sports on that, so I couldn't watch the game. And I thought I'll stick the radio on. I've got my headphones with me, and then when I'm watching her playing, I'll listen to the game. Nah, Radio Scotland just barely acknowledged the game was on the day. It was at 2:30, once they stopped fucking licking Derek McInnes's arse, they moved on to talk about Danny Rowe. Oh, yeah. And I'm going, the game started. And as I messaged you, I think it was 14 minutes into the game was the first time they went up to fucking Willie Miller to get even more. It's like, how much did he care about the game, saying the worst pundit? It was like, fucking hell. So all I've had is the Sports Scene highlights. So, as I say, the coverage was fucking shocking. Imagine not giving us a half-hour's commentary, John, sorry, to give us a half-hour commentary before they go to the Rangers game. See if they've decided the Rangers game's a bigger thing because they've got a new manager or whatever, and they want to cover that. Fine, I suppose. Mind you used to get 2 commentaries on the different frequencies.
Yeah.
You used to get better updates. To do a half hour talking about their new manager when there's like another game on and you're not even going to it. And there was chances, because I've just watched fucking Sports Scene.
There was plenty of chances. We'll come on to that. Kieran Gallagher says, can't believe we're playing these lone players, man. And Sandy said, evening, happy, long bangers. Great game today. We do not went off in it, Pittodrie, but the sheep got shagged. Haha. Chris said, that train to Helensburgh does stop energy. I get it daily. I think you're getting the train daily, Chris, and that's not just a boast. Sandy said, sign Barlaser in January before his price goes up. Man of the match today. Gary said, centre back's outstanding in Barlaser. Aberdeen goal. He handballed it. I shouted for a handball, but I think it came off his chest when I eventually saw it on the TV. It sort of bounced off his chest rather than his hand, I think. Kieran said, Sandy, he's a free agent in January. Talking about Barlaser. Ronnie said, hi, bangers. Good to see another early flag day, but could have and should have been a much more convincing win. And Dan said, Klidje is a player only going to get better. Big, huge, massive game on Wednesday versus the Zombies. Spooky as fuck. Right, John, it was a tale of missed chances again. Like the first half, pretty open. What did you make of the first half?
It's funny you describe it as a game of missed chances. Like, we did miss chances, but we did also win the game. And I was thinking about this. So Aberdeen scored late on, and if the circumstances were different, we would be bemoaning the fact that Hibs had conceded. But the reality is, it was a consolation goal. Like, Hibs were so far ahead that we were able to miss as many chances as we did and still win the game.
That has cost us this season already, though.
Yeah.
Not taking the chances, and it didn't today. Like, because it was too late. Because if they'd got that goal back earlier, I know it's all ifs and buts, but if they'd got that goal back earlier, we would have been all given that. The group chats we ran and the Hibs.net message boards and that would have been a different place to be. And that's how it's because we're creating loads of chances and not taking enough of them.
I think there's probably a middle ground between what we're both saying, which is that it would be more concerning if we weren't creating chances to miss.
Yes, yeah, well, absolutely, aye. Mm-hmm.
Aye, I mean, it's definitely a thing that you would rather be in the position that you're creating lots of chances and missing them than not creating any and scraping through games. But it is an issue because we were hanging on. Like, it's ridiculous because we thought we'd gone 3-0 up. Obviously, Boyle's offside, right? So the goal gets disallowed. And then within seconds, it's 2-1, and you're thinking, fucking hell, we're actually hoping for the final whistle when it was such a comfortable game. Colin, what do you think? Is it Gray getting it right rather than Aberdeen getting it wrong?
Well, it's hard for me to say that based on that. Based on the stats and the highlights, I mean, the highlights were they did show a couple of Aberdeen chances as well. You could say it was almost not quite even, like, because we had the better chances, but from that. But you look at the numbers and the stats, and we definitely appear to be the better team. But you guys will need to give me the context to it. Like, were we dominating the game? Because the possession and that was about even, I think, for what I remember.
Well, I actually thought we were lucky not to be behind early on. I thought Aberdeen had 2 really good chances before we started to take control. So there was one, the ball sort of broke to the boy from a corner, and he lashed at it and put it over. And then
another chance.
Another chance. I can't remember who it fell to, but they were on the sort of the right of the box, but with a clear shot at goal, and dragged it wide. I think I don't even think Salinger saved that one. I think he just dragged it wide.
Oh, yeah, I think that was
2 saves in the second half as well.
Aye, I think that second chance that you maybe described him, I think that was maybe the first one of theirs that I remember. Did that come earlier in the game than the first one that you described?
No, the one for the corner was the first chance. The boy lashed it over. But then we went up the park and we had like a couple of half chances. It was like quite an entertaining game, like end to end. It finished 2-1, and Hibs had a pretty good defensive performance, but we still had to rely on Salinger a couple of times to make good saves.
I don't know, like I was never concerned throughout the game. There was the chances that we've described that Aberdeen had at the beginning, but it was almost like that was them. They kind of shot their load early doors, and then we kind of. I think the conditions played a part. I put a wee tweet up saying that Aberdeen were going to lose because Jimmy Thielen had his hood up, whereas David Gray was just braving the elements.
Easier when
Aye,
you've
they
got
had.
bald teeth. When you've
Aye,
got hair, the water getting out. Or is it actually? Maybe it runs off more, eh? With bald
he's
teeth.
You look how
he's
much
well
product
groomed.
Thielen puts in, like that's all getting in his eyes and that. Like if he's
Definitely.
keeping his head down, he's ended up with stinging eyes.
So I like you've got to go natural. You've got to go David Gray if you want to get 3 points. I thought the conditions played a part in the first half. Like I'm not going to say it played into Aberdeen's hand, but like it was definitely like there was players slipping, there was passes going astray. But after those opening chances for Aberdeen, and once the rain and things started to calm down, Hibs definitely started to be a lot more composed on the ball. And I thought and Aberdeen had a similar spell second half, but I think overall throughout the majority of the game, Hibs were the better side and played the better football.
Yeah.
I thought it was a performance reminiscent. A lot of the performances we saw last season where we just seemed to be in control of what was happening. Like we were really comfortable in the game, and I thought how would I describe it? Like we dictated the pace of the game well a lot of the time. Like we could slow it down and we could pick it up again when we wanted to. And we just took the sting out of the game. Like at 1-0, there was a few periods where Aberdeen were maybe getting up a wee bit ahead of steam, and we just got the foot in the ball and just kept it for a wee bit, and it just killed it. Like we were really comfortable, really controlled performance. But I thought a lot of that came down to the work that Barlaser and Mulligan did in midfield. They were just like mopping up loads, and then they were really productive with the ball. We were really efficient with it as well. We didn't give it away as much as we sometimes do, and we were really positive with it as well. Whether that was like a driving on forward or finding a good positive forward pass. Barlaser in particular picked out a couple of really good forward passes that we didn't often see. Like we're sometimes a bad team for getting on the ball and just knocking it back the way and starting the game. But I thought we were really positive with our passing play today.
There was one standout pass for me was probably for Nicky Cadden because of the stick that he's coming late. Like we were under a wee bit of pressure, like you described, but Klidje just hanging about up front. Cadden's knocked the ball over the top for him, and it just instantly relieved everything that was going on behind us and put us in the front foot.
We should have scored the other way, like after.
Oh yeah. That's maybe one of the chances you're talking about being wasteful. But aye,
it was because a really good clip ball round, but it was like I've heard the radio, right? Willie Miller was saying that it felt like the Aberdeen defenders were just chasing the Hibs strikers all day, and clearly, especially when you see the sub on 60 minutes, I think the 60-minute sub, he took Bowie off and brought Boyle on, didn't he? And it was just like they kind of cope with him. So we've got two of them. And he said, Willie Miller was raving about Boyle, saying how much space he had, and if you give him space like that, he's got to create problems. Another one with a wasteful chance, though. And that's the thing with the stats, don't give you the full picture, because I'm looking at it and going, we had about the 6-5 shots on target, but Mulligan and Boyle scooped one over the bar the day that you'd expect to hit the target with.
Boyle was really frustrating because he actually played well in the game.
Yeah.
But his sort of two key moments were like missing his big chance.
It was a good bit to get the chance. He done really well.
Aye, he's carved open the space, a wee bit of decoy run, and it's opened up for him, and he's just missed the target. But it's criminal missing the target for there. Like
it's properly opened up for him. There's a big gap on the right, so you can see what he's aiming for. And do you know? I'll take the champ. I don't know if you can call Martin Boyle the underdog.
Boyle's the one underdog, John. You're all right to give him a bit of criticism. That's fine.
Champion of the criticised.
Should be hitting the target. That's why he's at the team, John.
I know, absolutely, and I think it was the Premier Sports commentator who said that's why Klije's starting ahead of Boyle after he scored his first.
Did he? Aye. I agree with that.
Aye, and then the next time Boyle did was get caught offside for Campbell's goal, and I think it was close. Like
it looks close.
Aye, but that's not the thing is, it's not the first time that we've lost a goal because Boyle's been offside this season. It's happened a number of times.
Have you seen the lines on it? No, I've seen it on Sports Scene. It's a trailing leg.
Is it?
It's like it's his back legs. No, he's just no. He's coming back, and the rest of his body's offside. And it's like I think his right leg's behind him, like taking another step. It's close, but it's offside's offside. The linesman missed that bit.
But then we concede right after it. So it's like it's costly, and I don't know. It's just frustrating. Like, I think Boyle could have wrapped the game up for us one way or another the day, and it didn't quite work out. But you give him credit for getting into the positions. Like, he didn't ken he was offside. His ball across to Campbell's good, and if
Nice
that goal
finish.
stands, it's a really good goal, and everybody's talking about Boyle's part in it. So I
How do
don't want to
you?
be too harsh on him, but he just needs to fucking stay on
Mm.
side.
So that's the question though. Like how I think we've talked about, for example, how do you stop conceding like just before half time or just before the end of the game? Like what how do you enact a training program? So how do you do something like that to keep someone on side? If like so, Colin's talking about fine margins with a trailing leg. Because
See, they
and
once.
that difference is what milliseconds between being
Aye.
onside and being off, like
So I
Hoylett against
think
Dundee United last year.
I don't think they ones are the issue, right? But because he's offside blatantly other times, these ones then get drawn in. He's offside again. Whereas, like, if it was just the
Aye.
marginal ones, because you see the marginal ones, like Ibrox last season, for example, off the top of my head, where he was onside by the ball here rather than offside by the ball here, and so they ones are 50-50. You know what I mean? That's just look at the draw, or you know when the ball was. It's just complete luck. It's the ones where he's like 2 yards offside, and you go, you're clearly fucking offside, and that just all accumulates into that narrative. He's always offside.
Aye.
Did you see his fresh air header where he was 2 yards offside that you're talking about?
No,
It
not seen
was
that. Didn't make the highlights.
it wasn't great.
Nah.
It's just, you know what, like it's like I think any fresh air swipe, but he's gone for like a wee flick at the near post, and he is like you described 2 yards offside. And what makes it worse is that he's not made any contact either.
Aye, and they're the ones though. That's what I mean. It's like if he needs to cut the ones out, and that's being aware. The other ones are the ones where he's trying to play the line, and it's just tiny bits, tiny
Aye.
fractions. It's the ones where he's like, if you're that, how are you that far off and still try to play the ball?
Is it perception or is this something that's been part of? Because I don't think it's been part of Boyle's game since he's joined us. It does seem to be something that's happened more recently.
I
So
wonder
like,
if he's thinking he's not as quick as he was. I don't know if he is. I still think he's quick, right? But I wonder if he's thinking he's not as quick as he was. He's not given as much giving the defender a yard or a half yard, and he's trying to be in line with him now. And being in line with him's where you see how dodgy
you
it
run
is.
the risk.
Whereas he's maybe always been a bit, I've got this boy for pace anyway. I'll just stand back a wee bit further. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Get
surmising, like.
get the sports psychologist and
Yeah.
the SAS
Aye.
snipers and that in again, just to remind them.
Kieran says Boyle did put it on a plate for Campbell when he hit the post as well. So I mean, this is the thing. Like,
That'll not be on target either. That's another one.
aye, another one off target. But
Yeah.
that is Boyle very close to having 2 assists and a goal, and
Yeah.
you know, off the bench. So when you assess his performance, he's obviously played well, and it's just like the wee things not going his way there now. But that I think that'll turn as well, and then when it does, he's going to be like, well, as he's been for most of his career at Hibs, like quite an important player for us.
I thought you were going to say he's going to be like a new signing.
Nah, that was silly. Tell you who is like a new signing though. Klidje, John, 3 starts, 3 goals. What did you think of his performance today?
Tremendous. I think, like I said before about that pressure relieving pass and run that Cadden's played for Klidje. It's something I think that we've lacked for a while is that outball. And he, like, I'm reluctant to sort of like stereotype him as just being pace and just being like that's the only ball, that's the only thing that he can do with it. Because he's clearly, as his goals have shown that he has got more to his game than that. But what he's doing for Hibs right now and what Hibs have got around him is very effective. So it's that the team being, I don't know if I'm describing this the right way, but it's the team being greater than the sum of its parts again.
Aye.
So it's like complementary things that happen all over the pitch. It's not just, say, Martin Boyle scoring all the goals or Klidje scoring all the goals. It's other players that are helping make that happen as well.
The point you make there about the team being greater than the sum of the parts, I thought the last couple of games, like Livy, we probably had a few players in contention for man of the match. Today, you probably would have said the same. When we were critical of the team earlier in the season, when we were dropping points, we were pointing to the fact that we didn't have any players that were like 12 out of 15. Do you know, they were all like sort of average. They were like not playing badly, but nobody really kind of standing out. I think just now we're starting to see, like we had Salinger make important saves. Hanley was outstanding. Bahora was good. Iredale was good. I thought both the captains were good as well, but Barlaser and Mulligan really stood out in the middle. And then you've got Klidje putting in a really strong performance. Oh, but Bowie was quite good as well. Chris Black was asking whether we thought he should have had a penalty. I don't know if they showed it in the highlights, Colin, but I thought it would have been a soft one. I don't think there was much in it. What were you, John? He kind of went down getting his shirt pulled, or that's what he was claiming.
I don't think it was shown again on the telly. I thought there was maybe a shout for it. I thought because the referee hadn't immediately signalled for it, I thought, well, that might go for a VAR review. Maybe we get something shown up on the TV. But I think that's a wee bit of the frustrating part is, like we've described before, Bowie seems to get involved in these tussles, but actually he was goal side of the, oh sorry, he was ball side of the defender, so he could have gone on and got it and maybe advanced the play, and he never. But I don't know, it's a tricky one because I think I've said before that you kind of that I trust the players to make the right decision in those positions, so I'd be reluctant to criticise him for feeling the contact and going down, because we've been critical of that before for players like not going down. Like Klidje, when he was through today after Cadden's pass, he gets the contact, but he's also got the pace to get away from the defender as well.
Aye, and Bowie also missed a good chance. Like Klidje misses the first chance, keeper saves it. Klidje misses roundabout, breaks out to Bowie. He should probably score as well, but sort of hits it right at the. I don't know, I can't remember whether it was the defender or the keeper that blocked it in the end, but there was it seemed to be just like loads of these types of chances, John, where you're kind of off your seat thinking, here's a goal, and it didn't it just didn't happen.
I was like that with the one that you were describing with Boyle, where he's kind of wriggled his way through. I think there might have been a nutmeg in there, didn't quote me on that, and then he's just sort of blazed over the bar. But what I was going to say was, like, I wonder if the conditions have played a part in that. As much as I said that first half, like, it started, like the rain died down, it started to dry off. Like, there would have still been quite a bit of moisture left in the pitch. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. You're right. Like, you want them to score in those positions. It just didn't happen today.
Mm-hmm. Colin, the game did eventually get wrapped up with Youan coming off the bench. Surprised to see him come on.
Aye, I was. I wonder if he would have been on the bench if Levitt hadn't pulled out sick, because he wasn't last week on the bench, was he? But the only real change was
he was on the bench. Yeah, he was on the bench. They said Megwa came into the squad when Levitt dropped out, so he would have been on the bench. Yeah,
right, I couldn't remember if he was in it, but I suppose it was. But I mean, he looked quick, eh? Like, he totally burnt that boy. The two of them, the defender looked like he was in quicksand or something, treacle, whatever.
It was fucking effortless.
Aye,
like the way he just broke away from the boy.
And if you see it back, when you see it back, right, it's like the old days at Aberdeen. It was against Aberdeen as well. Mind Damon Gray scored, and Chisholm's on the halfway line, giving it the arms up before Gray went round the keeper. Campbell's halfway line, arms in the air before he even took that heavy touch. That when he went to the side of the keeper, because it was a heavy touch, and he got there and scooped over the keeper.
I thought he'd overrun it.
Aye, and Campbell's got the arms up before he's even taken that heavy touch. So he would have looked a bit silly, but he didn't in the end.
It's a good finish. I can't remember who it was that asked. I'm sure we'll get to it in the talking points, but somebody drew the comparison with Malonga's goal against Aberdeen, which was a similar sort of mazy run from deep. Malonga picked it up at the edge of your box, so if I remember right. So I think
it felt like he went past more players, eh?
Aye,
he definitely had longer to run.
I get the comparison, yeah.
There are some parallels there.
We were at that game again. That was the night the two boys behind us were talking absolute shit. Mind.
Was that night? Was it?
I think it was your old man Stickett or something like that. I can't mind. And they two boys, they left at half time because everybody around was going, "What the fuck are these two talking?"
Honestly, the worst folk we've ever sat near. Like, unreal. So we go 2-0, get the third goal. That gets chopped off. We can see the goal. John, was there any doubt that we would see the game out?
Do you know, there was I wasn't concerned that we were going to lose, but there was that, I don't know if it's that football supporters' view of it, where there was still, I think, maybe like 45 seconds left, but then but there was 45 seconds left, give or take, so I think it was like 93:45, there was 4 minutes added time, but then the clock continued to go past those that fourth additional minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, could do with the final whistle getting blown here.
That's
Like,
mad.
I wasn't concerned. It was just like it was like you described. Like, we were 3-0 up to then just 2-1 up with seconds remaining, and it did make me think. Like, are they going to have something similar to what we experienced against them last season? Is this going to be their turnaround? Are they going to get back on level terms after being effectively 3-0 down?
No chance. No chance. Colin, they're quite shite, eh?
It would appear so. Like when we went 3 up, I was just coming home in the car, just leaving Airdrie, and I was like, oh, that's good, 3-0. Like, maybe I wonder if we've got time for a fourth, properly like pile it on. And then next thing on the radio, got Willie Miller saying, that's 2-1. And I'm going, the fuck's happened? I'm like, Grace fucking check your phone, what's happening? And I could see, because I'm on the CarPlay, all the fucking messages flying through on the thing. I'm like, something's happened, what's going on? But a big turnaround that for 3-0. 3-0 thinking, can we get a fourth just to properly like see the end of Thielen the night? But they're talking about that now, eh? They're talking about getting the man. She's won the cup, man. You've got to stick with him. Get his philosophy. Get his philosophy embedded.
It's got a 3-year plan. Let him see it out. That's what I say. Let him see it out.
When we talked about the Aberdeen game, I can't remember if it was like the preview or the predictions. Matty, you had said that, or it must have been the preview show, because you were talking about Chaiwa coming in instead of Barlaser, and you said that you wanted your best players on the pitch because Aberdeen's players will be better than Livingston's. Did you think that Aberdeen's players were better than Livingston's today?
That's a good question. There isn't much in it. I think Aberdeen troubled us more. You know, on another day, if our keeper doesn't have a good performance, we concede more than one goal. And do you know, like we talk about luck sometimes on the podcast, and some folk believe in luck, some folk don't. We were lucky the boy blazed the ball over the bar with the first chance. Like, he should have scored that, right? That should have went, in my opinion, Aberdeen should have started the game going 1-0 up. He didn't miss it because we put pressure on him or nothing like that. He just swiped at it, and it was his bad foot, and he missed the target. Not a lot we can do about that either way. If it goes in, we've defended it the same. So we rode our luck a wee bit, and on another day we go 1-0 or maybe even 2-0 down before we are in the game at all. Same time, another day we score our chances, and you know, it's an absolute humping. But I think Aberdeen were good enough that we couldn't take them lightly. Like, they were always in the game. You know, if it got 3-0, well, a couple of minutes later, then they're in it. But, you know, even at 2-0, the fact that they got a goal back, we couldn't really switch off. You know, like, it wasn't like it was a comfortable last minute and a half, or, you know, however long it was between Aberdeen getting their goal back and the final whistle. And at 1-0, I think we were comfortable in the game, but they always looked like they could have got a goal. You know, they had enough chances to have pulled one back before they did. Livingston, I don't think, ever looked like scoring against us. Livingston were shite. So I think Aberdeen have got a better team. The way they set up, though, is mental. Like, I mean, they're so open at the back. We were just pinging the ball behind them and using pace to get there.
Yeah.
Or we were pinning them in. And it was really, it wasn't easy to pin them in. That's the Hibs a disservice. We were able to do it because our midfield two were just mopping everything up and just keeping the foot on them. As we talked about that in the preview as well, is get them in the keep the foot on the neck, and we did it. Like, we were pretty good at it. So, to answer your question, yes, Aberdeen have better players. I thought they were set up ridiculously though.
So this ties into what the reason why I was asking the question, which is that I was thinking about the sort of questions that you or Colin might ask today. Like, what did I think of Aberdeen? And I was going to say, like, I think they're toiling, but I don't think they're toiling. I just don't think that because they did play some good football today. So, like, the chance that they carved out that you're talking about, where I think it was first half where Salinger doesn't get a hand to it, the boy puts it wide of the post. That was when the conditions were arguably at their worst, and they managed to fashion a really good chance with some sort of, when you say, like, intricate passes on the edge of the box. Like it was 2 or 3 passes, managed to create the space, get the shot away. But then it's almost like everything around that starts to crumble. They just don't seem to have a lot. Like, it's quite nice at times, but they don't seem to have a hell of a lot of substance.
They look like the character about them. Do you know, like they need.
Didn't he say leaders?
Fuck Aberdeen. Fuck them.
Fuck them. Aye. They look like a team that conceded 6 goals in midweek, and then when something went against them again, they're like.
But we said that on the preview. Like, let's get a goal early. 31 wasn't too bad. Like, because then their fans will just get on their case. Because look at it last year. What was it, 2 years ago when Jack Ross? Well, you can't recover for doing like that in Europe. Fenland never.
No.
Jack Ross didn't at United, and he's not going to either, unfortunately.
That feels like a Professor Football. Moving on.
we'll come to Professor Football. We're not quite at that stage yet, but we will get a quote later on. Right, let's get some talking points. A couple of YouTube first, and then I'll move on to the Twitter ones. So Dan HFC said, I saw an Aberdeen fan saying on X, McGrath looks a player, wonder where they found him. I love it, get it right up, yes. He said,
was he good today?
McGrath, aye.
Never really got a mention for anybody, that's what was.
Nah, it was fine. You know, he was really tidy on the ball, like some really kind of. He looked like he was enjoying himself. Do you know, like taking the ball at tight spaces, kind of wrong footing people, dropping the shoulder, that kind of thing. Maybe could have made more of an impact in the game, but I thought he was pretty good.
Did we talk about Klidje's goal? Really? Because I thought it was a really good. We skipped past it.
We did. We kind of just talked about him being a good signing and getting 3 goals in 3 starts.
Because it was Mulligan obviously drove. I think they were shooting for a free kick. I've not really seen that back enough times, but Mulligan had a good drive forward and a nice wee pass through. Basic pass, but a good one. And then he could have probably went and tried to get a penalty. He wouldn't have got it, but he's off balance and he managed to scoop it away with his right foot. It was really good wee finish, I thought. He looks like he's a strong wee character, for his apparent size. You've definitely got a bit of power about him.
Mulligan did really well for the goal, like to play him in. Do you think it was a free kick, John? So Colin, you said you never really saw it back.
They were shouting for it on but I never, because I've only watched Sports Scene and I was rushing to get up the stairs, I never really watched them analyse it or anything. You get the different replays and angles.
What do you think, John?
Like the Bowie penalty incident, I thought that there might have been a VAR review after the goal. Like, I don't know if that would.
There would have been.
I don't know.
Every goal gets VAR reviewed.
I don't know.
Just to correct, no, that's just for folk that listen to the radio normally. Because every time a fucking goal goes in, they go, "Oh, they're checking the goal." You're like, "Aye, they check every fucking goal."
Every goal, every single one.
What I'm getting at is, I don't know if that would have qualified for a factual overturn because it was a foul early in the play. But when you watch it, like the second and third time in the replay, O'Hara does go to ground and he tries to get a leg on the ball. I don't remember if there's any contact with the ball. The ball sort of like squirms away. And Armstrong just goes, well, I'm not fucking running for that. I'm going to go down to my knees.
Aye, did he?
And I suggested that he was just feeling a wee bit too old and didn't fancy running for the loose ball. And he got punished for
it. The thing is that they would struggle because, and one of the reasons they might know of, because they got hammered the other week there because they did VAR asked the ref. It wouldn't be factual, by the way. The ref would get sent to the screen. But the Motherwell game, the ref got sent to the screen and then changed his mind, and it's soft as shite. So they'd probably have that in the back of their minds as well, going, we'll get hammered if you give them away a foul on the halfway line.
O'Hara doesn't make any contact with him whatsoever.
With Armstrong. Oh, I thought he made contact with Armstrong and just missed the ball altogether. But it was a Motherwell incident that I thought I'd call him when I saw it back. If the referee gives a free kick, nobody's questioning it. Like, it would have been one of these innocuous ones in the middle of the park. Like Aberdeen just put the ball down, play on, and everybody gets on with it. Hibs wouldn't have complained about it, I don't think. But at the same time, it would have been soft, and I think from a VAR perspective, it's not like an obvious error for the referee. It's one of these ones that some referees will let go as a matter of course as well, Ken. But you're shouting at it going, oh, the home fans have gone mental, and you'd be going mental if it was against us. You'd go, oh, yeah, fucking useless bastard referee, and the folk on the other side are going, it's good place, just letting the game flow. You know, one of those ones. So
it was probably a really good showcase of what we've been lacking in midfield, like just a few weeks ago, and of what Mulligan brings to the team. Because, like we talked earlier about, like I think he had a chance that he's put over the bar or put wide or something. I can't remember, but he has contributed so much in an attacking sense. And like, if you consider, say, Cadden's earlier chance where he goes for the spectacular wee bit, and he just screws it high and wide. Mulligan takes the much wiser option and plays in Klidje, and he's, like Colin suggested, just been strong enough to hold off the defender and scoop it in.
He's definitely seen him driving forward to Mulligan, back to Mulligan, and
Aye.
that was what we were told to expect, I think, wasn't it? Like from him, and we probably saw definitely in the first couple of European games. I thought this boy looks apart, and then he's went off the boil a bit, and that might be because he's getting switched between positions and all that as well, or it might be because of the formation that was in the midfield, and now they've kind of corrected it, or went back to what it was. Well, not that he played in it last year, but maybe that's helped him. But he's getting forward and driving forward with the ball now, which is
he was
what we wanted.
brilliant today, Mulligan. I think what I like about him is he does both sides of the game. So the amount of times he was like sort of mopping up at the back as well, just like we were talking about defenders no going to ground. I can't remember, was that in the previous show we were talking about it, or
we did. I think we did touch on it with regards to Bashiri and Hanley, like the comparison between the two.
Oh, aye, that's right.
Mulligan's a player that never goes to see the amount of things he wins the ball just by like strength, or just gets his body in the right place and just comes away with the ball. And the thing is, he tends to keep it after it as well. It's like he'll nick it and move it on to Hibs player or clear it out of danger. I think he's an exceptional young player, and I think really high hopes for him. But I thought his attacking play was good today. But the amount of covering, he's young still, 22, just.
Does he still qualify for Young Player of the Year?
Unfortunately, it does, because it's fucking 23, which is mental. Halfway through their career, like it's a short career. They keep telling us you can't have Young Player of the Year at 23.
Donna O'Neill said we're happy with one, but we need to be taking more of our chances. But that's definitely our theme, I think, when we come to the talking points on Twitter. So Luke M said one of the things I like about Klidje is seeing him stay on his feet. Last week against Silla and again today against Devlin, he rides the challenge before putting the ball away. Having said that, he was smart enough to win the penalty against Livy when he felt the shirt pull. So, John, you both mentioned like sort of Klidje no going for the penalty when he could have done, just to make sure he scored the goal. Legends at 73 said superb performance right from the word go. Well worth getting pissed wet in the first half. That's because Pittodrie's a shithole way. Like you get fucking soaked up there.
That's why it's such a hard place to go.
Just
don't want to go.
It's grim, eh? The seats are covered in bird shit. There's fucking no cover on the stand. It's fucking awful. McCann the man said poor finishing made for an unnecessary nervous last 2 minutes. It's no good for my heart. This very good away performance, though. A lot of positives to take into Wednesday. Colin, obviously Rangers won today as well. They were awful in Europe as well. Okay, one of these ones where the manager's got to go up and apologise to the fans after it.
Was it one of them? Was it?
He did.
Carragher and that talk about that on the Gary Neville podcast. He can't believe the patter that they go through now. He's like, clap them, fuck off. Or that's like, just stand there and take the abuse, and then somebody snaps and goes for them. It's like, why did they do it? Like, what is that? Is that just to keep podcasts and fucking fans forums happy?
I don't know. It's all for show, isn't it? But so, like we've talked about loads of big games already this season.
That's what football management is, though, eh? So, and that's what. Sorry, anyway, but then all that performance art on the touchline and all that, as well as if you get beat, go up and.
When you said performance art, I was thinking, like, how would you, if you were any football manager, through interpretive dance, convey how sorry you are to the support?
You just do that. It's that wee dance move, kid. That wee hand push one.
A wee tap to the badge as well. Do you know, like a point to the fans, like you like, or use clap, tap the badge, fucking hands
See,
up.
These
sorry.
Bastards. Sometimes you might get a player dragging the manager forward to get in the line. We had that with.
Was it Marcondes did that with Monty? Monty deserved the blame for that.
Players are getting all the abuse. No, you come and take your fucking fair share.
You get up here and tell us why we can't pass the ball forward. It sets up for a big game on Wednesday, John. Like Rangers come in. We're obviously that one kept us in third place in the league. We've got the chance to put a wee bit of distance between us and Rangers on Wednesday night. Without kind of jumping too far ahead to preview that game already, but that was it was like important we won the day so that we take that momentum into Wednesday, isn't it?
Aye, it just. Like it feels like every game's a big game again, but it's not quite that. It's it's strange to be talking about it so early in the season, but I think because at the moment the league is so tight, I think where we were when the football started on Saturday afternoon, Hibs were third on 11 points. I think Livy were on 6 points. And I'm sure I saw something that said that Dundee, when they won, were they in second place or something? They jumped up to third.
They would have been in third at one point in the game. I think they were leading. So at one point on Saturday, if the scores had stayed the same, Dundee might have found themselves in third.
Right. Okay. That's sorry, I misremembered that. So what today's result does is kind of similar to last season, but later in the season, it gives us that platform to go and try and make that next surge, that next push to surge and get away for the people behind us.
But do you know what, John? Every game, it does feel like a big game and I must win and all that chat. But that's because we're up at the end of the side of the table. We want to be challenging it, and that's what Rangers and Celtic always talk about. You can't lose. We've got to win every week. Blah blah blah. And
it's the pressure,
and that's kind of it. It's not that mid-table mediocrity where you're just going, oh well, see what happens. You just want a good day out.
I suppose I know what you mean. I think it's because, well, to coin a phrase of yours, like there's still 80% of the season left, and we're talking about it's fucking must win. Like we need to keep pushing on.
But if you want to stay up that end of the table,
if we want to achieve the aims of third place finishes in European football, etc., then that's the position that the players and the club have put themselves in. It's now about rising to that challenge.
And for December last year, I mean, well, we didn't have a great start to the league, and people are saying that, like on the radio and all that as well. And you go, we've lost one game. We've chucked a couple of draws in that we shouldn't have drawn. But from I think keep me right, November, December, whenever it was, start of December last year to the end of the season, we were only about a point different for matching Celtic from memory. Right, could be wrong. Somebody can fact check it, but it was a couple of points to a difference. We matched Celtic all the way, from December, which we never got that. I mean, everybody was enjoying it and it was good, but we were playing for third place, whereas I think that the team over there, they're doing it for the start of the season. And that's the difference, isn't it? And that's why you get that momentum and that buzz that we probably never had, because they were always uncatchable. But we actually matched them over that period.
Well, you mind we did the previous shows and we'd always have the last six for the form guide. And for ages, it was like a Hibs top for a long time. Neil Boyle said, only criticism today is how we never scored another 3 at least. A great performance, but we must start to take the chances we create. Jasper Spaniard said, I have no idea how that game didn't end 0-5. Bandylegs said, who will the Dons hire for us to sack next? I'm not sure if Aberdeen have a mind to sack him.
He seems quite confident in his what I've seen that Cormac's got to stick with him. We bit like the Man United manager before he started turning it around. Like where he was like, I'm getting sacked. They can't afford to sack me. Sort of thing.
You're not getting it.
I mean?
Edinburgh Hibs fan channel said, hi lads, how are you, Colin, Matt and John? So 3 points tonight, but can any of you tell me if that was nervous at night for me? I was biting my nails low. We could have easily come away 4 or 5 tonight. I was a bit nervous. In fact, it was a nervous performance overall, though. I tell you what, it's worth kind of talking about just the strength and depth of the bench, Colin. Like, because again, we talked about it a wee bit after Livingston. Like, we were able to bring on like Boyle, Chaiwa, Hoylett. Was Hoylett never came on today? But again, like Rocky came on to cover for O'Hora when he got injured. We were able to rest a few.
What happened there then? I didn't know anything about that.
He took a shoulder knock, I think Gray said, just towards the end of the game.
Right.
And what about? I've not seen any chat about Cadden. Because the reason I'm bringing it up, obviously, like the injury concern, if there is one. But I think that Hibs started to. It impacted their momentum a little bit, putting Mulligan at right back, and I'm not sure what the outcome is for Cadden there.
I don't know. Chris Bax just asked that as well. So, by the way, did Cadden go off injured as he went straight down the tunnel, or was
got an early sub as well? 59 minutes.
Was he just needing a basil bully?
Jacket on, away for a bath.
Fucking freezing him. I'm away to get warmed up, maybe.
You said that Levitt was sick. I wonder if there was maybe like a wee sickness bug going around the team.
Aye.
Hopefully not with this game Wednesday.
but the squads that they want to make, and like we're now starting to see players come back into contention for not just starting places, but we'll obviously Levitt will be hopefully feeling better soon, so he'll come back into the squad. Newell isn't far away. Manny will not be that far away, I don't think now as well. That's kind of the position you want to be in. It's a case of like I think if we can carry this momentum through to January, then I think we need to get a striker and a right back in. That's probably all we need, John.
I can't think of the whole squad off the top of my head right now, but like there are a number of players that are coming back. I think it feels like my gut instinct is it feels quite similar to last season where we lost Joe Newell, for example. Levitt came in and had a really good partnership with Trent. It's like some of those players who were I don't know, had come in for a wee bit of criticism. People were questioning their value, but they came in and they contributed. So like Bashiri today, like my first question was like, what does that mean for Hanley? Does he go right centre back or does Bashiri go there? There's been questions over Bashiri's ability to play anywhere other than just that sort of like anchor in the middle of the three. But Bashiri came on and done fine. Mulligan, as much as I said that it impacted our momentum a little bit, like we did subsequently go on and score that second goal. So we weren't, and I suppose as well, like the depth that you're talking about with Boyle coming on for Bowie, and you've still got Hoyle on the bench, like we're not doing too bad. Like there's still options there to make changes, to make positive contributions to the game. So hopefully now that we've seem to have ironed out that I don't know how to describe it, the thing that was causing us to not quite tick in midfield, in midfield across the team, we seem to have resolved that. So hopefully all those moving parts, all those different players, like if someone finds themselves injured, suspended, whatever it happens to be, there's just another waiting in the wings to come in.
See, I'll come back to that. See, a quick question though. See, if O'Hara's out on Wednesday, that's another. That's like your third choice captain. Who comes? Who's the captain?
Well, Rocky took the armband when he came on.
Did he?
Today, but
I was going to say would it be Hanley maybe?
Hanley's a sort of ready-made one.
Yeah. See, on the midfield point though, I was going to say with Barlaser. So obviously, I think on the thought mob he got man of the match. Apparently, he got man of the match play on Premier Sports. I thought he was good last week. It sounds like he was good today. And to be fair, my brother-in-law was one of the tweets in earlier on. He's been talking him up since day one. Like I was saying, no sure, like for a bit. But I definitely think the last 2-3 weeks he's been decent. But was his performance that impressive today? Just in the basis I'm asking, there was a lot of folks sort of starting to write him off really quickly. There's comparisons with fucking Jago and everything getting thrown out there for what I've read and heard. So is he? Is he worth, like people were saying, sign him up? Is it too early to still be saying sign him up? Or?
I think it's too early to make a judgment on him one way or the other. Like if I'm honest, but he's played a good level all his career. He certainly didn't look out of place today. I thought he dictated the tempo of the game. Again, go back to what I've said about players before. You want players that look like they want to make a difference when they're on the pitch, like they want to make things happen and get on the ball. And Barlaser did that, whether it was winning tackles and or making interceptions or just being available for passes. And sometimes it was just like a wee tidy pass. There was a few times, first half in particular, he got the ball and his first instinct was to look up to try and ping a diagonal over Naden. But Naden was either like kind of no in space or the pass wasn't quite on. But rather than trying it anyway, he just took his time, found another pass and kept possession. But he popped up in good positions. His defensive work was good. I think he was well worth the man of the match. To be honest, I think he was definitely good enough for that. John, I don't know if you disagree with any of that.
No, I thought his performance was. I'm going to say it was kind of similar to his performance against Livingston, in as much as he made himself available for the pass. Like he was kind of. It wasn't just right, I'll make the pass and I'll stand back and admire it. He was always kind of moving into space and, like you say, like controlling the tempo, like dictating the play. Just kept the ball moving, really.
Salinger's getting a lot of love on the YouTube comments as well. Edinburgh Hibs fan channel saying he was different class. Dan saying he's made a difference as well. Defence and Salinger working well. It helps that you've got a goalkeeper making saves as well. Like for all we criticise the attack for missing chances, we get away with it because we've got a goalkeeper making important saves, calling him.
Well, aye. I'm not. That's not to slag off Smith before folk think I am, because Smith made saves as well.
Yeah.
But aye, when you've got the defence certainly seem to be confident in him.
It's that cliche, I think, of like he wasn't really called upon to do much, but when he was, there were two important saves. There was the one, I think, when he gets down to his right, tips it around the post,
Yeah.
and then there was the one that's come out and blocked with his feet. Other than that, I don't remember him having too much to do, but he's played a vital part.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more talking points to get through, but it's not about this time on a Sunday night that I like to hear for Professor Football. So, Professor Football, what have you got for us tonight?
I've not prepared much for this, but I would say he's got good feet for a big man.
Brilliant. Okay, right. Luke M said also loads of people have been saying Klidje should have been a starter from when he came in. Don't doubt the process. Don't doubt Sir David Gray. I firmly believe he knows what he's doing. This has been like a sort of hot topic for almost since he signed, Colin, isn't it? Like, the £1 million striker getting him, why is he not playing? Gray has sort of drip fed him into the team, but he's now getting his starts, he's getting the goals. Is this evidence that Gray should have started him earlier, or is this proving that Gray was right to say, listen, trust me, once he gets in the team, because we've taken care of him, he'll be good?
I don't know. Because as you say, every game he started, he scored, and he looks powerful, and he looked like that right away. So I don't know. And you know what? Like, see if you're drip feeding them into the games, it was 3 minutes and stuff he got on occasions.
Aye.
Like, it's not like he's getting 20 minutes in that, like even half an hour. It wasn't a gradual build up. He went for about 3 minutes to 90. You know what I mean? It was like there was no. So I don't know if Gray can get all the credit for drip feeding him if it was just because he didn't think he was better than Boyle, and he's turning out that at the moment he is. He's on better form than Boyle anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I was speaking to another one of the dads yesterday, Hearts fan, and he said, I says, that's Klidje scored us 1-0. And he said, has he been injured? I said, no, he's just not been getting played. So
all right, Arano said, would it be possible for someone to take time out and spend a bit of time explaining offside to Martin Boyle? Bandyleg said, delighted with the win, but I can't be the only one screaming punt it to fuck when there's a heap of attacking players surrounding all our defenders in the box, and we try the intricate wee passes. A better opposition would have capitalised a couple of times today off of these. John, how do you feel about that? Would you prefer like a what was it? Professor Football had a rose head for medals or something, wasn't it?
At the park for medals.
The park for medals.
It's interesting though. I thought there was a couple of times a day. So even if you take into consideration Hibs' second goal, so Aberdeen have got a wee bit of pressure. Hibs got a foot on the ball, plays out to Campbell. Campbell gets the assist, but I think there should be Stuart's inquiry about when assists count or not, because Youan still had all the work to do. Like, he just got the ball in the halfway line. I say just, like, obviously he's beat the player, beat the keeper, etc.
Just ran through the middle of the two of them. They were that fucking slow. Like, it was mad. Like, see if that was a Hibs goal against Hibs, I'd be fucking raging at the defenders for that.
Absolutely. And I was going to mention this earlier, actually. It was in relation to
fucking decent.
It was in relation to, like, so the comparison was made earlier with the Malonga goal. Like, there was plenty of opportunities. Like, there's a boy chasing Malonga who just gives up at one point. And today, like, I appreciate your point about, like, just foul on whatever, but I've seen that before with other teams where we've been on the attack and we've had a chance. It's just like we've been put on the pressure late in the game, and then the team goes up the other end of the park and scores. Like, it happens. I think one of the things that Hibs have been pretty good at is, like, under David Gray at least, is not fucking about. Like, generally speaking, like, if there's pressure there, lump it. And especially in the last few games that we've been playing Klidje, because he's such an effective outball, like, there is that opportunity. And because we've got players like, say, like Salinger, for example, who can ping it that sort of distance with that sort of accuracy, that we aren't pissing about at the back. Like, there might be times when we are doing it. My gut feeling is that wasn't today.
Yeah.
Dan, sorry, can I just? I'm sorry,
yeah,
I keep doing that. Did we do one of the kickoffs today?
Second half was
second half.
Was it
launch up and under?
I can't remember if it was
I just seen a couple of comments on
the corner. I can't mind off the top of my head if they did it.
Somebody, I don't know. That's what I was reading in the match thread, and it read like we had, but I didn't know if it was just one of the get that kick off the fuck sort of comments, and I thought, if we done it again, that's why I was asking.
Danny says, same team on Wednesday, Klidje hat-trick against the Huns. Dan said, Klidje in his interview said he was happy how he's been handled, etc. He's got confidence to kick on now, so it's probably all been dealt with perfectly, him being new, etc. Yes, I think we can give Gray the credit if Klidje's happy today as well.
I don't know if the interview being referred to is the one that was in the Observer or if it was like a post-match interview, but there was one in the Observer, which is well worth a subscription, by the way, where language was mentioned. So like language bar, and I forget which player it was. I think it was Rocky actually, is kind of taking Klidje under his wing to help explain things. So that might be a factor, and I wonder if Hibs have maybe learned a lesson a wee bit with like chucking players in with too much fanfare previously, and actually have a proper process to embed this player into the team, so that everyone benefits, not just the player, not just Hibs, but everyone.
Ryan says 2-1 flattered them. Should have and need to start killing games off. Not getting a clean sheet is only negative. Barlow says quality in there. Hanley solid. GGTTH. And Ladij, I will make this the last one. Ladij said exhausted watching that. Great entertainment. Both Hibs goals, outstanding skill. While the score flatters Aberdeen, it keeps. Sorry, my phone's just decided I'm not getting to read the rest of that one. Let me find it again. Why would I fucking do that? Here we go. While the score flatters Aberdeen, it keeps us under the radar a bit longer. Hopefully scalp a few unwary sides as the league campaign stretches out. Right, Wednesday night then. Let's a quick sort of look ahead to that for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Colin, we obviously didn't have a great time against Rangers when we played them at Ibrox earlier in the season. How do you see this one going?
I think, well, we'll be in a home game under the lights. I don't think we'll be. That Rangers game, we was kind of sat off them and hoped to hit them on the break. I don't think we'll be doing that today. I think we'll be a bit more up and at them. Like more what we're used to, I suppose, in Rangers and Celtic games at home. Hopefully we can get the early goal and get their fans on their back, because they had that easy win the day. I think a fairly comfortable win by what I heard. But even Stephen A. Smith said that on the radio. He says, different story on Wednesday though. Like Kilmarnock at home, Hibs away is a bit of a step up. So I don't think we can assume they're going to be brilliant just because they beat Kilmarnock 3-1.
Aye. John, how are you feeling for it?
Semi optimistic again. Like ordinarily when Rangers, whenever you're playing Celtic or Rangers, like you're kind of thinking you're hoping for points, or you're hoping for a point, you're hoping to keep the scoreline low, that kind of thing. But I think that, like Colin says, there is an opportunity to go at them. I think given what we've seen going on elsewhere in the league, I think there's a real opportunity to go at Rangers, who are definitely a team who've struggled. Like they've definitely struggled this season. I don't think that 3-0 against Kilmarnock is the, or is
3-1. Keeper chucked
one in. Sorry,
3-1
3-1 in the end. Sorry.
And the keeper chucked one in as well, so hopefully he'll be playing as well, and he'll be a bit nervous.
Like I think it changes the dynamic a little bit, and I think I described that about Aberdeen in a way, like because they'd had a couple of victories recently, like it maybe changed, like maybe that was like them starting to get their house in order. I can't remember how it was that I described it, but to go back to what we were saying earlier about being up at this part of the league, we especially being at home, they've got a smaller crowd at Easter Road. We've got a bigger proportion of the crowd, all that sort of stuff. Like and we're playing well. There's an opportunity to have a proper go at them and make a memorable night under the lights and come away with the 3 points.
Aye, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's set up nicely. I think the fact that probably helps us a wee bit that they've won today. So I think if they'd gone off the back of a really bad European result, then no one at home, and everybody just assumes that they're there for the taking. This, I think they still might be not there for the taking. That's not the right way to put it. But we can get at them. But everything's just like a fait accompli. Do you know, if Rangers have been shite, we'll just go and we'll turn them over, and they get all like fucking annoyed when we didn't get the 3 points, and it doesn't go like swimmingly easily. So I think them coming off the back of a good result means everybody's going to be aware that it's no a walkover.
I think the last two games have showed that we are decent going forward. Like we can create chances, albeit we never scored as many as we would have liked today. I think what's maybe given me more room for optimism is that we seem to have cut out the mistakes that cost us the goals when we went to Ibrox.
Mhm.
So hopefully those two things going right on Wednesday could mean a good night for us.
Aye, looking forward to it. Right, well, we'll be back with extra time for subscribers tomorrow. If you want to subscribe, you can do it right here on YouTube. You can click the wee join button and sign up, or you can go to Patreon and you can sign up there as well for a couple of quid. You get loads of extra content, early access, that kind of thing. No adverts, which is a big selling point for it, especially if you listen on podcasts. Because I think if you listen on the podcast, you've probably had about 10 adverts by now. So you don't have to listen to them. You can just go to Patreon and skip them. So thanks for tuning in. Hit like if you haven't already done so. Thanks for your comments, and we'll see you all next time.